Hi, it's Matt from Health MOT. In this video we're going to make dried tomatoes, so it's almost like buying sun-dried tomatoes in the shop, but we're doing it ourselves with mini plum tomatoes we've bought in the market today, and all we're doing is using a dehydrator to dry them. So they won't be sun-dried, but they'll be dried using warm air from the dehydrator, and that'll give us a supply for maybe a month or a couple of months for using for breakfast or putting in salads and things like that as well. So what we've got today, we're out shopping, and at a market we found some lovely plum tomatoes, mini plum tomatoes. Good price, good quality. We tasted them in the shop, very sweet, so we decided to buy actually 1.5 kilos here, and all we need to do is use our dehydrator. What you need for that is a sharp knife, chopping board, cut your tomatoes. What we're going to do is slice them in half, place them on the dehydrator trays, probably leave them overnight. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take to do that, but we want them to get them dry enough, not so they're crispy dry, but just dry enough so we can then put them in the jars like this and add olive oil, and we'll have sun-dried tomato supply for probably a couple of months then. So we'll get started. It's really a quick job, so I'm going to time myself doing it. Got the sharp knife, so tomatoes looking good, and just a case of chopping. We usually do this kind of thing on a weekend, do it as a family, maybe we're cooking up some food for the week, and at the same time what we want to do is just get some other things on the go. It will mean that we're not having to buy the stuff in the shop where we're not so sure of the quality or contents, and although it's a little bit of work, it might take a little bit of time, it's really something that we've learned to come to enjoy, and we can do it, I can do it, my wife can do it, or we can actually get our young child involved in it, and that gets him more appreciation of good whole food, and that's the things that we want to eat now for the future. Now that we've learned to eat whole food, get the health benefits from it, then we want to try and get that as much as possible. So I'll just carry on chopping the tomatoes. It's just chop them in half, put them on the tray, load up the trays, and put them in the dryer. It's not for everyone. We don't do this all the time. We just, as we come across some fruit or vegetables, whatever, that we want to dry in the dryer, then we'll buy them, and we'll buy enough of them so we can fill up the whole dehydrator, and it'll be, what, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of the job, and we'll do it once, and then we'll do it again in a month or a couple of months' time when we need to do it again. So it's not something that we do on a regular basis, something we have to do every week in, week out. Just an example, when it comes to harvest time, we can get some fruits, maybe some local apples, some nicer, fresh, sweet, local produce, and we can dry it, and then we can use it, in any of our meals for the future, for up to the winter time, and we'll clear up the contents there. So have a think about it, have a think about making your own dried fruit or vegetables. Get a dehydrator. This thing's probably about 30 quid, what we've got here that we're trying at the moment. It's not bad, but we're looking at other models that would be a bit more beneficial for the type of work that we're doing here at home, because we do a lot more dehydrating or drying of food. We didn't used to do it all in the past, so it's nice that we can do it. But I've been talking for 2.5 minutes, got a tray filled, got 4 more trays, so we're talking about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of a job, and that's it. I'll show you then a clip of once the tomatoes are dry, how we then just put it in the jars, just going to take them off the trays, put it in the jars, add in the oil, and that's it, it's finished then. So, okay, so tomorrow we've got our trays finished, our dried tomatoes. We actually turned it off this morning about 7 o'clock, so we've left them in for approximately 13-14 hours, and I've been out to work today, I've come back, and it's going to take me, 2 minutes to do this. So yesterday we spent about 12 minutes chopping and putting them in the dryer, switched it on this morning, checked that they were just dry enough, and now we're just going to load them up into the little jars. So we filled about 3.5 trays yesterday with 1.5 kilos of tomatoes. I'm going to try to fill these 2 jars We've had one jar on the go now for probably a month now, so it's going to last us, we'd say, about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. And that's it, we just fill the jars, we let them dry. Some are a little bit crispy, some are a little bit soft. First time we did this, we left them too long, so they're too crispy. So we'll see how this goes. It's all trial and error. We're not experts at doing drying fruit or veg, and we just see how it goes. But it's all good food, and we get to eat it and enjoy it. So we just pour on the oil, let the oil cover it, and although olive oil isn't the cheapest thing, basically what happens is when we come to use this in food, take a spoonful of tomatoes with a bit of oil, and that'll be the oil for cooking, for example. And if we're putting it in a salad, then that oil can be the dressing for the salad. So that oil that we've used there to cover the tomatoes won't go to waste. We'll just consume that as part of consuming the tomatoes. So what did it cost us? It cost us £2 for the tomatoes. We probably used in these 2 jars half a bottle of olive oil, so that could be, say, £2 or £3. Obviously it depends on the quality of the olive oil. We've got extra virgin olive oil, and you can get all kinds of better and more expensive brands of that. These jars cost a couple of pounds each, and they've got a rubber lid, close, cover there, and you snap lock them, put them in the fridge, and there you go. Nice as a gift for somebody, or just for yourself, your own home produce and good quality whole food. So that was dried tomatoes, and I hope you give it a go and let me know how you get on.